person who desires. Do we know what that means so far?
I'm a man and I'm a pick-me.
Oh my gosh, calm down, buddy. It's all right. I got it. Thank you for the lesson.
Thank you. No, thank you, Jovan Bradley, for sticking up for my rights.
Transgender non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness. I just said to be careful you used a pronoun again.
And could you please remind me of the topics?
No.
I just want to see if you've been following anything that I've been saying. What is the definition? What is the definition?
Answer my question.
I don't care about your anecdotes. I do not.
There's many people who want to be blind.
Listen.
Or
I need you
who
to stop
maybe
talking.
don't want a limb.
Stop
and
talking.
They want to remove
Stop
that
talking.
limb.
I love you, Mary.
All right, I want to talk about Jovan Bradley. I covered him the other day. A few of his fanboys got very mad at me. Someone suggested that I watched a not very good performance. So I don't know. I'll see what this is. It's a very terrible first impression, though, because this turf can't provide evidence. So Jovan goes off. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Amazing. Not really the gender dysphoria, but it's an instance of having something similar to what people with deep gender incongruence. I hate gender incongruence. Gender incongruence means your gender identity doesn't match up with your birth sex. So what's a gender identity? And how is it not just made up? I hate that term. I hate that term so much. Redux. Oh yeah, I'm familiar with that. Oh, thank you, Sarah. I might feel better in a bit. I don't know. I'm just in a mood. Yep, we're talking about this guy again. The concept of gender identity is falsifiable as a concept of soul. Yes, very true. Very true. But yeah, he's talking about turf. He's going off at a turf, so that'll be nice.
Hello, are you here to debate?
Yes, I am.
All right, what's your name, age, and pronouns?
Did you say age?
Name, age, and pronouns.
Jasmine, I am 32, and I do not have pronouns.
Do you want to say that last sentence again?
Oh, I said I do not have pronouns.
Oh, you clearly do, because I is a pronoun, and you used I to describe yourself.
Are we real? Like, are we seriously pretending that this is cool? This is what people want? First off, why the f*** do you need to know someone's pronouns that you're talking to?
Okay, well, I guess you chose for me, so there we go.
Okay, so I'll call you I all day? I is your pronoun?
Sure.
But you're talking to... What a moron.
If you want to. Sure.
Cool. Chat, this is Jasmine. I is going to talk to me. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like he's such a dick, like from the off. People trying to convince me, oh, well, he was trying to be good faith until 1 minute something in. And I'm like, oh, okay, so basically the start of the debate is when he stopped being good faith, mate. Like, I truly despair sometimes. Playing coy to avoid the point of what he said. Well, yeah, he's a debate bro. It's not about being right about anything. It's about getting those little dunks in. It's about not caring about the overall context of the conversation and just wanting to get your little dunks in. Oh, you didn't provide a source for that tertiary piece of information, so I win, that kind of shit.
Right, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, he's a dick from the off. This is the second thing I've watched where he was a dick from the off. But, you know, let's get some comments. He's clearly taking the piss. Yeah, should you be taking the piss out of someone that's come in to debate you? Shouldn't you just show a little respect? If you get to see my comments in his channel, I'll have to have a look.
So is there some sort of prompt, or do I just go, or do you have a question for me?
There are multiple topics. Choose a topic.
Okay. And could you please remind me of the topics?
No. Did you not look at them before you called in?
Okay. And could you please remind me of the topics?
No.
This guy's not a dick. This guy is good faith, is he? This guy is an honest interlocutor, or whatever the f***ing word is he? 1 minute 40, 1 minute 4 in, and this is the biggest dick I've ever seen in my life. And I've spoken to Alec Gunter.
Did you not look at them before you called in?
I did. Yeah, sure. Which one would you like to talk about currently?
You can pick any. It's dealer's choice.
Okay, It's your channel, so I'm just...
Dealer's choice. Well, wouldn't you be the dealer as it being your channel? Oh, man. This is what trans people need, apparently. This is not bad representation, apparently. Sure, bro. Seizing the means of production. Anyone know what the constellation of beliefs is? Here's the constellation of beliefs right here. Trans men/women are men/women. Gender-affirming KF minors. Why do you want trans kids? That's a bit suspicious, no? Donald Trump is unfit to be president. Pro-choice, I guess that's abortion. So he calls himself a feminist, presumably, because abortion. Systemic racism is real. Abolish prisons/police. Communism better than capitalism. Wow, amazing. It's in 2018 all over again. This is called the constellation of beliefs. This is every fucking basic bitch, over-radicalized trans rights activist, rolled into one. This is everything I expect from someone like this. And this is exactly the attitude I expect. Yeah, all these people insist that they have, like, reasons and stuff, and I haven't listened to them, to be fair, but every time I go anywhere near that kind of rhetoric, it just devolves into, like, childish bullshit. And none of the people that like this kind of shit actually ever want to defend it in a meaningful way, except, oh, go and watch his videos, he talked about it. It's like, wow, amazing. Was he as shit in those videos as he is in the one that I've seen already? Anyway.
Just giving you the respect of asking you first.
You can choose whichever topic you want.
On the list. Okay, got it. All right, so I also disagree with basically everything
Careful, you
you're
used
saying.
a pronoun again. Be careful.
Sorry?
I just said to be careful, you used a pronoun again.
Why do I have to be careful?
Because you said you don't use them. So I said be careful, you're using.
I said I don't have one, although you chose.
Why are they all diehard communists? I have no idea. I have no idea why trans and communism and socialism and anarchism are so inextricably linked now. You know what I mean? It's, like, embarrassing. These people are never going to taste power, and they probably don't want to. They just want to be in their little fucking Mensa club where they're better than everyone because they've read fucking Marx.
Chose to assign that one to me.
Be careful. You're using a pronoun, so you have them. If you're
what
using
am I
them, be
being?
careful.
On the one hand, I would rather eat my own feces than debate this person. On the other hand, I do want to, like, talk to people like this and just see if I can hold anything of a conversation with them whatsoever. Because I'm not a debater, you know what I mean? I don't like this kind of shit. I prefer having conversations and, like, you know, just having a back and forth. But these kind of people, they're so incredibly narrow in how they have these conversations that, like, that is just pointless. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd still talk to anyone, but, like, fuck this.
What am I being careful of?
I'm just telling you to watch. You don't want to have pronouns. Just be careful.
See, listen. Apparently I made no points in my last video. He is harping on about some irrelevant shit in a supposed debate. They haven't even chosen a topic. I have to have a moderator. The way he runs his own debates is insane. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd have to work out all of the time zones and stuff. They're all in America. I'm not that motivated, you know what I mean? And the fact is, like, when I watch them and they're just, like, rude as fuck all the time. There's a panel Monday to Friday with 3 trans on it. Jesus Christ. One of his videos is like a communism versus capitalism panel. So I don't know. I guess the days of Dylan Burns are back upon us. It's the fucking hippy dippy 2.0. Literally, that only lasted as long as it did because Destiny propped it up. Amazing. No one wants that kind of content because it sucks. Like, let's have a load of people shouting all over each other. And every time someone talks, the next thing you hear is a cacophony of everyone talking until someone gets pointed out to go next. Debate panels suck. I'm sorry.
Careful.
I didn't say I don't want to. I said I don't have any.
Yes, so be careful. You're using a pronoun means you have a pronoun. So just be careful.
How long is this going to go on? We're like 2 minutes in, bro.
You assigned my pronoun as I, so I don't need to be careful.
When I asked you to tell me what your pronoun is, you wouldn't do it. We know it's she, her.
Okay,
we know
fine.
you probably go by she, her, and you prefer to go by she, her.
Thank you for your warning.
Came in and called you like he, him, you'd be
If you know, then just assume.
upset about that.
I used to like some of the panels, but truthfully, they're only good if you like anyone that's on there. You know what I mean? Why on earth would I do any effort to start a conversation with this knob? Oh, he starts quite early. Okay, fair enough. Honestly, the only reason I do that kind of thing is just to see what is just to see what these people are like when talking to a more skeptical trans person. Because these people are allies, don't forget. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's this deep cringe. Like, can you just let her pick a topic? Why are you going on about this pronouns thing? Nobody cares, bro.
Okay, thank you for your warning. I will heed your warning of being careful. However, it won't bother me too much, so
Me
you
as a
don't need to
pronoun, be
remind me
careful.
each time.
Me as a pronoun, be careful.
He's still going. What are you doing, bro? Like, maybe it's funny to your soy friends like the first time, but like, what are you doing now?
Okay, you don't need to.
Here's the thing. They haven't read Marx and don't know that communism is about building a utopia in the future. I have no idea. I just think the pronoun shit is retarded. Yep, I agree. So yeah, I don't know. Here's my first point, in case any of you retards are gonna comment on this video too. This guy is fucking harping on at irrelevancies like whether this person has pronouns or not, rather than just having a conversation. And he already seems like a dick. Like, this person's being as patient and calm as they can. Like, yeah, they're trying to make a bit of a point with the pronouns thing that he's like fucking around on, but this is completely worthless. This is just debate bro shit.
Remind me each time. I got it. Thank you for the lesson.
You as a pronoun.
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay.
Like, he just sounds like he doesn't want to be here. This sounds like when you call, like, I don't know, your letting agent or something, and the person you come through to fucking doesn't want to be there at all. Or you walk into a store at like half an hour before closing, and the fucking clerk there is just like, you know, literally what he sounds like.
So like I said, and it will keep happening, Jovan. So again, no need to remind me over and over again. But yes, I disagree fundamentally with everything you're saying. And one of the reasons is because of psychology. So psychologically, I personally have a brother who's schizophrenic, and I see when he, in no way am I comparing.
Yeah, she's been perfectly fine so far. I might not end up agreeing with her stuff. The last person he talked to, I really didn't actually agree with that much of what they were saying. Like saying that bipolar was caused by like hormones or something. I couldn't find any info on that, so I don't know. But then the way that this guy seems to interact with people doesn't really, it's not really conducive to actual conversations. And my feeling is, and I don't know this for sure, let's be clear here, that this is more about ego for him. It's more about dunks. It's more about just fucking putting a wall up and being a dick until they give up, you know? Because, well, he's decided this person is a TERF, so I guess he feels justified in that approach.
Hearing them, exactly, but he dips into delusions at times. And it's easier for everybody when we give in to his delusions. I also went to nursing school and have worked with dementia patients, and delusions are a part of that as well. So I suppose my debate is that transgenderism is, or however you'd like to refer to it as, is a form of mental illness. And it's not that these people don't exist, but my issue is that I've called myself she or whatever for the past 32 years. So it's hard for people to make that switch.
God, someone's in chat saying, what a fucking cunt. Jesus Christ. Maybe it's a badge of honor to get insulted by your dipshit fans. I don't know.
Does that make sense? To suddenly have a new vocabulary to choose from.
I don't care about people having a new vocabulary, right? If people can't like get with the program, that's on them, right? When it comes to being trans, when it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness. This is per the APA. If you want to compare.
Wait, is that true? Like, there's a lot of comorbids, especially autism. Hang on, let me get that again. Counting out the APA, not an amazing start, but sure. shit on me for not trusting the APA all you want. I don't see how blindly trusting them and just being like, well, they said it, so it must be true, is any better. In fact, that's an appeal to authority. That doesn't mean anything.
To suddenly have a new vocabulary to choose from,
I don't care about people having a new vocabulary, right? If people can't.
It's just rude. I'm sorry. Do I have to point out every time this guy is a dick? Otherwise, his dipshit fans will like, oh no, he's good faith. It's just when people are mean. Like, this person's not been mean. They're just talking. And he's being a dick. I'm sorry. Unless he just hates women. Maybe he's, I don't know. There's plenty of misogyny in our circles. So, hey, anyway.
Can't like get with the program, that's on them, right?
That's a ridiculous argument. If you can't get with the program that's on you, like, what? Doesn't it matter whether any of this shit is even real?
Comes to being trans, when it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness.
First off, non-congruence, again, the definition of that is your gender identity doesn't match your sex. What's your gender identity? He doesn't care about vocabulary, but he was hyperfixed on it on the start. Yep.
This is per the APA. If you want to compare shit to psychology, then I would compare it to actual psychology, which is the American Psychological.
The APA is actual psychology. Bipolar used to be labeled under a mental illness. Now it's under a disorder. It means the same thing, though. Fair enough.
If you want to compare shit to psychology, the program, that's on them, right? When it comes to
get your hand away from your mouth as well. Like, I barely fucking hear what you're saying.
Being trans, when it comes to being.
Hey, would you like it if I did my whole stream like this? Is this annoying the fuck out of you? Because it fucking should be.
Transgender non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness.
Right. Systematic review, 15 articles on psychiatric comorbidities for children diagnosed with gender dysphoria between the age of 2. Who the fuck is diagnosing a 2-year-old with gender dysphoria? What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway. 80% of the data came from US, Netherlands clinics. Children with gender dysphoria are likely to experience profound psychological and physical difficulties. Wait. But he said...
When it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness.
Non-congruence has no link to any other...
When it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness.
Like, does that sound to me? Does that sound to anyone else, should I say? Does that sound to anyone else? Like, he's saying that there's no comorbids. That it's not likely if you have gender dysphoria that you also have something else. I mean, I can tell you off the bat that that's not true because autism is, like, overrepresented in trans people. And I mean, range of psychiatric comorbidities, high prevalence of mood, anxiety disorders, trauma, eating disorders, autism spectrum conditions, suicidality, and self-harm. The source I am using so that you idiots can look it up instead of complaining that I didn't source my shit is Gender Dysphoria and Psychiatric Comorbidities in Childhood, a Systematic Review, Tabitha Frew, Claire Watsford, and Ian Walker. 2021, there you go. So maybe I've misunderstood him, but it sounds like he's suggesting there's no comorbidities with gender dysphoria. And yeah, I'm going to keep saying gender dysphoria. Gender incongruence isn't a thing as far as I can tell. Someone can prove to me what the fuck a gender identity is, or what experienced sex is, or whatever. Was it the fucking DSM? Let's look it up now, just because. Yeah, experience / expressed one's psychological sense of their gender. What does that mean? What's one's psychological sense of their gender? This is what I mean. This is why I won't use those shitty terms, because as soon as you use that term, what does that term mean? Well, it's your gender identity not matching your sex. Well, then what's your gender identity? Oh, your psychological sense of what your gender is. Okay. Does that mean that it's something that develops naturally and that it just kind of informs all you do? Or is it just something that someone made up and decided was true of them because they liked playing with Barbies when they were a kid, and what was the other one? And their life is in the shitter and they want to change, you know? So DSM-5 criteria for gender dysphoria: a marked incongruence between one's experienced/expressed gender. How do you experience? Could you maybe read what article? A marked incongruence between one's experienced/expressed gender and primary and or secondary characteristics. What is experienced gender? How do you experience gender? Is that like, oh, people call you a woman because you look like a woman more than a man? Expressed gender, like, you can dress like whatever you want and still be, and not be incongruent between like your gender identity and your sex. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep coming back to this. The problem is it keeps using these same like terms. When expressed gender doesn't make you another sex. And it's like two of the following as well. And like a strong conviction that one has the typical feelings and reactions of the other gender. How the fuck would you know any of that? Isn't gender dysphoria itself the comorbidity? Oh, maybe. I don't fucking know. I have no idea, to be honest. Like the typical feelings and reactions of the other gender. Like this is like practically delusional. No? Strong desire to be treated as the other gender. Like, does a desire to be something make you something else? This is a really terrible, like, listen, I don't like the DSM, what's it called? Their description of what gender dysphoria is. I just don't think it's right. I think it's shit, honestly.
For the APA, if you want to compare shit to psychology, then I would compare it to actual psychology, which is the American Psychological Association.
Yeah, so it sounded like he said that that comorbidities tend not to be a thing. And if that's the case, that is completely wrong. Just awful argument straight away.
Association, which have said multiple times, including in the DSM-5, that there is no linking to gender incongruence to any known mental illness.
No linking to any known mental illness, except all the fucking stuff that there is known comorbidities with. Okay, amazing. So you're wrong about that straight away. Why are you debating trans issues? Like, just find something else to talk about. Talk about your weird communism and ACAB shit. I don't care about that. That doesn't, you know, you're not like talking about something that like you've got no skin in the game of, and that your bad activism for doesn't come back to affect you. It comes to affect other people.
Gender, okay, sure. What about sex?
What about sex?
I have personally met trans people who admit, yes, I have a mental illness. Yes.
I don't care if a trans person admits they have a mental illness. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean that they do.
Bruv, let her keep talking. If you don't care, then wait for something to come on that you do care about. Again, listen, it's not even 5 minutes in. This guy's a dick.
Right? Somebody just saying like I have a mental illness.
It absolutely does, because these are case studies.
Who classifies mental illness in the medical field? Who classifies what mental illnesses are?
Exactly.
Another appeal to authority. Yeah, well, I only listen to the people that classify it. Well, then you'd better hope that they're right about any of this, and that they're not captured in any way, and that there's no bias in any way that might make them want to refer to something as this, that, or the other. You know what I mean?
Who does? You
the
tell
American
me.
Psychological Association.
Okay, and what does that consist of?
Psychologists.
Okay, so
doctors.
You are a person, right? So a doctor can tell you are a person, but if you tell me you're a person, that doesn't count. Is basically what you're telling me right now.
What kind of analogy you're trying to make, but
by the way, American associations in general, like psychology, medical, whatever. Like the American health system when it comes to trans is one of the most captured things that there is. They're all about affirm, affirm, affirm.
But that does not line up in any way, shape, or form. What I'm telling you
is that when we're talking about... What I'm telling you, see, it's all about telling people things. Like, people are like, oh yeah, he's nice if you, like, just approach him in a normal way. But they made it sound as if, like, he'll only be kind to you if you shut the fuck up and let him fucking lecture you. Who the fuck wants to be lectured, let alone by someone who is not trans? And so far has suggested that there's no linked comorbidities to having gender dysphoria, which is utterly wrong. That's just laughably incorrect, quite frankly.
When we're talking about diagnosable illnesses.
One sec.
Oh, okay,
hold on one second, Jovan.
Jovan, no problem. Sorry, I
actually really want to debate you, but I'm not here to be condescended, and I'm not here to be talked to like a child.
That's a shame, because he's been doing it the entire time.
So if you think something I say is stupid, then
don't act like... This is like pure projection, my dude.
Talk me through it.
He won't even fucking remove his hand from in front of his mouth, and you want to call someone else childish, yeah?
Don't call me stupid.
Did I say the word?
Like, you ever seen like a kid in a sulk who like won't say anything? Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck that shit. Let me see his chat. Maybe. I'm covering something else probably though. Right, I'll go up here and I'll hang out there.
I would like to have an adult conversation. Well,
yep, it's a shame you called Jovan Bradley then, because this is not an adult. Maybe in like physical amount of years lived on this earth, but in there, no, absolutely not.
We all know what your intention is, right? You're trying to make me look and feel stupid in order to argue, and that's not an argument.
His mouth is sufficiently exposed for speaking into the microphone. No, I can barely hear what he's saying because he's talking like this and he can't even be asked to enunciate. Fucking take the L yourself.
Out the flaw in your argument.
Okay, we'll do so with respect.
No.
And not in a condescending manner.
No. You set the...
He doesn't respect his callers, but sure.
No.
Fun fact. You set the tone.
I mean, that shit is like part of the fucking body language that shows he doesn't give a fuck. I watch this live. I usually get banned from his comments. Can't speak the truth on his channel. Well, no. It's an echo chamber. All of these are. Up the gain on your end. Oh, gee, thank you, Toaster Cleaner. Thank you for your amazing wisdom. Unfortunately, I get the same, like, fucking... I get my shit and this shit through here. And I have to max out the gain on these shitty videos. It's turned up full. If I turn it up higher, I'm going to be taking my own head off. Maybe just call it with the suggestions, because they're not helping. They're just annoying.
Tone at the start of this conversation. You set the fun fact.
You set the tone of this conversation, and his dickhead like fans are like, oh yeah, he like energy matches. This isn't energy matching. This person came in like calm and, you know, respectful enough. He hasn't been the same. He's been sat there like this the whole time.
You set the tone at the start of this conversation. You set the tone.
I'm sorry?
You set the tone at the start of this conversation. So
why? Because you want to force me to call myself?
He's already made it comes across that way, yeah.
Something, and I chose not to.
Because I think when somebody, when somebody stupidly, because I think it's really dumb if somebody owns a car and they go, I don't own a car, but they're sitting in their Ford currently. So when somebody tells me I don't have, but they're sitting in, really dumb if somebody owns a car and they go, I don't own a car.
Oh, so he was immediately offended by her saying she doesn't have pronouns. Why does she not, like, why can't she answer that way? And, like, why is that a big deal? Be the bigger boy. How about that? It's your fucking channel. Be the bigger boy.
But they're sitting in their Ford currently. So when somebody tells me I don't have pronouns...
What does that have to do with the conversation?
Because when somebody tells me...
Okay, so the I don't have pronouns thing was just the reason he needed to not treat this person with respect. Amazing. Brilliant debater. You guys are really sending your best. Amazing. Thank you. No, thank you, Jovan Bradley, for sticking up for my rights. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jovan Bradley. I should be grateful for this, even though this is the worst thing I've seen in fucking time.
I don't have pronouns and they're using a pronoun while telling you they don't have pronouns. I think they're setting the stage to instantly be disingenuous. You came in disingenuous. You could have just said she.
No, you just want a reason to write someone off so you can just go off on them. Didn't this lady say she works at long-term care with people with dementia? What does this guy do for a living? Oh, fuck knows. Probably this, to be honest.
Her, and we could have moved on with the conversation.
But you didn't because you have some... How am I disingenuous?
Because claiming you don't have pronouns while using a pronoun is disingenuous.
I am being very genuine. I'm not living my life any different than I have.
Because claiming you don't have...
Oh, here we go with the looping again.
Pronouns while using a pronoun is disingenuous. Just like if somebody said to me...
Like, well done on getting her on the biggest technicality of all time. Well done on pretending that there isn't kind of a point as to why someone might not want to answer that question. Well done on not realizing that even asking for someone's pronouns when you're talking to them directly is retarded. You don't need their pronouns. You said it yourself. I already know you're she, her. Then why fucking ask? Because it's a virtue signal. And one of your little tests. And if someone doesn't want to answer the way you want, because you insist on people playing your game, then you just fucking write them off. Amazing. This isn't debate. This is bullshit.
Just like if somebody said to me...
A lot of money in shouting down people on TikTok, apparently. Yeah. They used to be on YouTube as well. I mean, this debate bro shit was cool back in, like, 2019. But, like, the problem is, the only person that's particularly okay at it is Destiny. And everyone that copied him pretty much, like, made it worse. Like, took all the bad parts of it and, like, and fucking ran with it. So you get fucking Vorsh. And all these, like, Vorsh clones, this guy included. And, like, Vorsh doesn't even debate anymore. You know why? Because at some point you must have realized that his shit sucks. And that his fucking bullshit debate fucking shit doesn't do anything.
Just like if somebody said to me, just like if somebody said to me,
telling me that I have to.
I'm going to keep talking. Just like if somebody said to me, I don't drive cars. Just like if somebody told me, I don't drive cars while they're sitting in a Ford.
You already said that. Was that really such an amazing analogy? You had to make it twice? Okay.
I would say the same shit to them. If you have an issue with the way I speak to you, if you have an issue with the way I speak to you,
you would be very valid.
If you have an issue with the way I speak to you, grow up. But then he takes an issue with her just not wanting to answer the pronouns thing. It doesn't go both ways. This is like shrimp dick energy. This is pathetic. This is your boy? Mate, if you're watching this and you like this guy, this is fucking lame. This is the fucking lamest iteration of the debate bro shit that I've seen yet.
Like, if you have an issue with the way I speak...
You'd be very valid for saying that, Jovan. You would. And I completely agree with you. If someone says that they're doing something, they're not doing something that they are.
And I was pretending to be... This is what you want, bro. This is what you want. And now you're pretending to be annoyed because she wants to... Like, really? Really?
Then yeah, call him out. I'm with you. 100%.
Jesus Christ. All you have to do is just have the conversation. If you're upset with how...
All you have to do is have the conversation. Meanwhile, how long are we in? We've had almost no actual conversation. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I don't know, be a grown-up.
I am 1000% being a grown-up, hon. What you can't do, though, is force people to call themselves something that they aren't.
Oh, so
you can't force me to say I have a pronoun. I don't have one.
I'm sorry.
I don't have one.
Just confirming.
What if I haven't figured it out yet?
Just confirming. So if I were to call you she, her, this would be incorrect. If I were to call you her.
Well, why would you call them a her when talking to them? That makes no sense. Clearly, she mentioned wasn't interested in playing a semantic game. Yeah, exactly. And that's offended him. So now the conversation is over. That's how these people operate. They just need a reason to start going off on that person and then end the conversation whenever they want. It's the same shit that Alec Gunter was doing with me. The difference being that I wasn't really giving him anything to get angry at. So he just started ramping up by himself anyway, and it just came off super fucking awkward. And this is what I mean when I say, like, that I think more people should confront these people. And that you don't actually have to be good at fucking debating to get them to out themselves. Like, they'll do it themselves. You're gonna say I don't care what you call me. Yeah.
Her. If I were to say she is speaking to me right now, this would be incorrect.
No.
No. Oh, crazy. See how that works?
So what
Thanks.
if I haven't figured out what my pronouns are and I just said I don't have any?
Then you wouldn't say.
This guy's really control. Do you think he talks to like his friends or his partner or whatever like this? I hope this person is single. Like fucking hell, I fear for whoever is like in this person's life. Like fuck me. These people that are so like controlling over conversations, it just makes me wonder. Maybe I'm hypervigilant because I know where that can lead to, but I don't know. Be a grown up and get some cat ears. Amazing.
No, you wouldn't say she, her. You would give a neutral pronoun. You would give something neutral.
No, not necessarily.
Yes, you would. Yes, you
would.
No,
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
You saw what I did, and I did
would.
what I did.
You would give a neutral pronoun.
This is the issue with your art.
Use a neutral pronoun.
Okay, sure. You're choosing.
This gives you off the energy that he has friends. Yeah, true. Well, I mean, he's got a little cult to grift to. This is a massive grift. So, hey, listen. He doesn't care about trans issues. Can you seriously, like, watch this and tell me this person gives a fuck about trans issues? When he asks someone their pronouns, and if they don't answer the way that he likes, the conversation's just over at that point.
Choosing to do this straw man argument.
There's no straw
and I would
man.
like to move on.
Can you define what a goddamn straw man is? Can you tell me what a straw man is?
It means that, yeah. Are you asking?
I don't know if he's doing a straw man. He's getting hung up on irrelevancies, exactly like the last fucking video. And I said as much. And then I get comments saying, oh, he didn't really disprove any. I said that he gets hung up on irrelevancies because he doesn't really give a shit about this. He's just getting in there for dunks and he'll just pick on anything that he can jump on. That to me is a massive sign that this is ego-driven and that this is a grift and that he doesn't care about trans issues. And so we shouldn't be talking about them. And I'll tell you something else. Just knowing like the fucking DSM definitions of things, that doesn't make you an expert in anything. That doesn't mean you know what it's like to be trans. Having like trans people in your audience that have exactly the same like beliefs as you is the same thing. You can't just listen to those and then know everything about trans and then debate people. It's really not that simple.
Because you actually want to know, or?
No, I'm asking because I don't think you know what straw manning is.
Oh, I absolutely do. That's why I'm accusing you of it.
Great.
Because that's what you're doing. Yeah.
I don't know that he's straw manning her, but like my broader point is because I have to speak extremely clearly to all the morons watching, not live, but later on. My broader point, this isn't straw manning. I think she's wrong here. He's going on and on and on, harping on about complete irrelevant things. Like how she answered the pronouns question. Like, I'm sorry, like, clearly whoever's like watching this is like completely, I don't know. Obviously some people are watching this and seeing a completely different thing to what I am, and that's fine. Look at one of the comments, I hate her in all caps. Yep, yes, you're stupid. You are using pronouns, amazing. Who cares? Who cares about fucking pronouns? Honestly, I'm pretty sure. Listen, morons are welcome here. You just have to be nice, that's all.
You mean you keep switching subjects, you keep trying to accentuate a word I say here or there, instead of just allowing me to say my sentence or ask my question.
See what I mean? Who cares? Who cares that she's said straw man and that's not what... Excuse me. Who cares that she said straw man and that's probably not what she meant? Like, who gives a fuck? Apart from this person. Like, I presume people watch this shit for, like, entertainment. Like, why?
Oh, man. Switching subjects is not a straw man. Just fun fact. Switching a subject is not a straw man. That would be describing a pivot.
I didn't say that it was a straw man. I said you are doing straw man, and
actually, you're getting your debate pro terms mixed up.
You're also switching.
Interesting, because what I asked.
This is clearly a academic and intellectual circle that you have entered into. That's why it's almost halfway through, and we have no fucking substantive conversation about anything whatsoever.
You to do was
in fact, the only argument he's made is that apparently gender dysphoria or gender incongruence or whatever isn't linked to any other disorders, which is not true. Like, the list of comorbids is fairly long, actually. Oh, thank you, Nikolai. Yeah, his fans came and gave me a piece of their mind. So I'm doing another one, and I'm going slowly this time so people can understand my arguments instead of pretending I don't have any. And then calling me bad faith when I tell them to stop skinwalking their little hero here.
Describe to me what a straw man is, and then you said, well, you're moving subjects. So then if that's not what a straw man is, then can you tell me what a straw man is?
It seems like
did you just use a word
as soon
you
as I
didn't
said
know?
I don't have pronouns, you positioned yourself to be mean and nasty and not have...
That's true. That's fucking true. Because he was like, well, you must be disingenuous in that case. When that's not the point. And if people just try to expand their brain sideways very slightly and kind of take the subtext a bit more often instead of treating everything as unbelievably literal, then you could probably have a conversation with this person like you're pretending that you care about doing.
No, I told you what I did. I told you what I did. I think you were disingenuous, and that set the tone for the debate.
How?
When somebody comes in,
Okay,
I've already explained how.
I actually want to understand this. I actually do want to understand.
Literally already explained how.
How
multiple
am I?
Times. I've explained how multiple times.
I also just want to let you know I'm not intentionally interrupting you. It's kind of hard when you come in halfway, like when I'm already talking. Not to be rude, but
I don't know why she's still bothering to try and like appease him. Just don't bother. There's no point. It's not going to get you anywhere. He's not going to be nicer to you. He's made his mind up about you. He made his mind up about you like way back here or something. I'm supposed to think this is like a good guy or something. Yeah, maybe. I might try, and apparently he streams earlier than I expected. I might try one day, but like, I wouldn't expect too much, honestly. I'm not a debater. I just fucking hate that these kinds of people who are very clearly ego-driven. Why do people watch this for entertainment? That's why I watch it. I guess. But like, I actually make sense occasionally. This guy has not made sense. He's made one argument pro-trans. Why she apologize? I have no idea. He's a dick. There's no point. But like, yeah, the one argument he's actually made was moronic. And he's just getting hung up on irrelevancies. Maybe if I say that enough times, people will accept that there's an actual point here and that this is stupid. As soon as the caller said, I don't use pronouns, his mind was made up. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, don't ask me to do things I've already done. Maybe don't ask me to do things I've already done. Like, explain to you exactly why I viewed it to be disingenuous.
For me and your future callers, it's hard to hear you.
Wonderful.
And it sounds like it's interrupting. Okay, just...
Wonderful.
Because again, I'm coming at you.
Yeah, his audio is terrible. Like, it's the combination of him mumbling, putting his hand on his mouth, and having his mic way too fucking low. Like, the last video, this one's not as bad. The last one, I had to crank everything to get it, like, in line with my audio, vaguely.
You with respect as a human.
Great.
I don't need to treat you like shit just because we disagree.
It's not. I don't care how you treat me. Like, that has nothing. You could call me every day in the book,
you don't,
and it would not affect me.
But I care. I know you don't care, but I do care how I treat you. That's how I choose to treat everybody, is with respect.
Great. So fine. We'll get back to the topic at hand. So
wait. Finally, it's only halfway through the fucking video. Jesus Christ.
Go right back to it. Who decides what is classified as a mental illness medically? Who makes that decision?
Well, you said it's a psychologist.
Very, very leading, narrow question. You're just trying to lead them to your point instead of making your point. Again,
the American Psychological Association dictates what are and are not mental illnesses.
Yes.
So if the
is he trying to say, so they must be experts, so I should believe everything? I'm not sure. Let's see.
American Psychological Association says gender incongruence is not a mental illness and is not linked to any known mental illnesses per the book that they write on this shit, the DSM-5. How are you now going to substantiate that it is a mental illness?
more or less. This is the thing, like, you can disagree, but it's like, I don't know. The problem is, if you disagree with any of these, like, organizations' definitions of things, like, people fucking lose their shit over it. Like, people are very rigid when it comes to believing everything these organizations say, and I'm sorry, that's insane. You can't be doing that. Like...
Because I know it's a mental illness. There are other resources other than the DSM-5.
The thing is, it probably can be classified as a mental illness. Like, what's a mental illness? Didn't he say in his last video it was a mental medical condition? I think so. I can't remember. It's possible that he chooses words very carefully so that technically he's not like... I mean, here's the thing. A mental illness refers to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. Like, gender dysphoria can do that. So it's perfectly fine to categorize it as such, even if the fucking APA doesn't. Why does the APA have to be the be-all and end-all of that? What if I'm British, for example, and America isn't the center of my world because I'm not from that country? Do I have to listen to the APA? His refusal to let her start her point and instead focusing on irrelevant semantics shows the just a grift. Yes, exactly. He gets hung up on irrelevant stuff. And like we're gonna get to at least a bit more substantive shit at least. Like, thank God he's like realized halfway through they were supposed to be actually talking about something and not just fucking bitching. But like, the first point he made was fucking terrible. He thinks that gender dysphoria doesn't have comorbidities, it sounded like. It's not linked to any other illness other than fucking autism and depression and all sorts of other shit. These are people trying to destigmatize mental disorders, yet flip the point fuck out when you compare something like gender dysphoria to mental illnesses. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing. I'm a very, very mentally ill person. I don't care if gender dysphoria is a mental illness or not, because I don't see that as like a stigma. I'm already that thing either way anyway. And I don't think that makes me less of a person. I don't think that means people should discount me, personally. So, like, what's the difference? I just don't give a fuck, quite honestly. Like, whether it's what the APA says it is, or whether someone reads the definition of what mental illness is and says, well, I think it fits that. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter. If you can technically call someone mentally ill because they have gender dysphoria, what's wrong with that? Does that make them less of a person? Does that mean they shouldn't be listened to on certain things? Of course not.
And the other things that you've quoted that indicate that it is a mental illness, 100%.
Hey, fun fact. I don't want not-ahs. I don't want not-ahs and because I said so's. Provide a source then.
Provide a source for why it's a... Why did I get rid of it? I hate this shit. Provide a source. What source did he provide? When he said about, like, it's not linked to any, like, psychiatric disorders, whatever the fuck it was. What source did he provide? I didn't see a source. Why is it suddenly now there's an impetus to? This is ridiculous. What the fuck is this? Okay, here's why you can call it a fucking mental illness. Because it fits what this fucking says. Mayo Clinic, I'm sure that's a somewhat recognized fucking organization. What about the World Health Organization? Mental disorder, significant disturbance in individuals' cognition, emotional regulation, or behavior, all of which things that gender dysphoria can potentially result in, right? Usually associated with distress, impairment in important areas of functioning, potentially. May also be referred to as mental health condition. Latter is a broad term covering mental disorders, psychosocial disabilities, and other mental states. Like, so what's the difference? Who cares what you call it then? Mayo. I don't like mayo. I like some flavored mayo. When I make like homemade fried chicken and stuff, I do like gochujang mayo. I don't know how to say that word, but Korean chili paste is good with mayo. Anyway.
Claiming it's a mental illness? Give me a medical source.
Did you hear me say either of those things?
Yes, you did quite literally just said.
Either of those
you
things?
quite literally just said because I said so. Yeah. You said because I know it's not.
Do you want to rewind and rewatch
I'll rewind it. You specifically said, when I asked you, provide me what...
And all this is what you said in the conversation that we just had. Difficulty is, unless you've got a photographic memory, it's not easy to counter someone like this when you're on his turf and he's determined to be right. That is true. All you can really do is show the way that they behave. And that's the main thing I was trying to do with Alex Gunt, which, you know, you can say what you want about my performance, because I don't think I was very good. I'm not a debater. But that was the main point. I got him talking. That's all you can do, is like get them to show themselves. And people will see that shit, and some of them will think, maybe this isn't my fucking ally. Maybe this isn't the guy I want to put my fucking shit behind. When he talks to a trans person with a slightly different fucking belief system and loses his shit. Talking about Alec Gunter here. I don't know about this fucking guy.
Why it's not? You said, because I know it's not. Those are the words you used.
Oh my gosh, calm down, buddy. It's all right. It's okay.
If you think I'm not calm, then I really need you to like go somewhere. Like,
you're definitely not calm. Don't bullshit. Don't bullshit.
Like, who's not?
You look and sound like a sulky child, and you have since the beginning. You've got the hand in the face again.
Not you calm in this situation. Me speaking loudly, me speaking at a slightly higher decibel is not me yelling. You want to hear me yelling? It's a vastly different thing.
Let's get past this. Let's get past
I would like you to provide a source that being trans is a mental illness. Go ahead.
Why didn't he have to provide a source earlier? Listen, like I said, some of you idiots are going to be watching this afterwards. Explain that to me. Where was it?
I got it. Thank you for the lesson.
You as a...
and delusion to it as is a form of mental illness. And it's not that these people don't exist, but my issue is that...
Yeah, is he literally like looking up on the APA whether it's a mental illness or not? This is cringe. This isn't how you talk about like trans shit. You don't just look up what some authority says and you know everything. That's ridiculous. Like, I don't know, like, how is it going to feel being an actual trans person, for example, talking to someone like this, who's just fucking Googling everything and doesn't know anything? Like, it's preposterous.
I've called myself she or whatever for the past 30
I don't care about people having a new vocabulary, right? If people can't like get with the program, that's on them, right? When it comes to being trans, when it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness. This is per the...
So first off, that's wrong. We've established that quite firmly. Second off, why doesn't he have to provide a source for this? But he's going to insist that anything this person asserts whatsoever, we have to provide a source for.
There are other resources other than the DSM-5, because I know it's the mental illness. There are other resources other than the DSM-5.
Yeah, see, here's the problem. So she said, because I know it is, and then she went on to start elaborating. But now he is stuck on, you just said you know it is, which is technically true. These guys love their technicalities. Well, technically, you said this. Amazing. Fucking weaponized autism is what we're seeing here.
Yes, you did quite literally just said. You quite literally just said because I said so. Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is she was going to go on and keep talking, and you stopped her because you fucking massive TRA asshat. Yeah. Oh no, I'm just making sure it's as clear as possible that this person's not fit for purpose.
You said because I know it's not. Why it's not? You said because I know it's not. Those are the words you used.
Yeah, and then she was going to keep talking, but you stopped her because you'd heard enough. You'd heard what you needed to soy out at her. Amazing. This isn't debate. This is bullshit.
Oh my gosh, calm down, buddy. It's all right. It's okay.
If you think I'm not
mogged,
it is not me yelling. You want to hear me yelling? It's a vastly different thing. Not a source.
So now I'm going to move on from that.
No, we're not. We're not.
Do you think he yells with his hand in front of his mouth as well? Sorry, I know it's a silly point to get hung up on, but it really bothers me. Like, you're talking, just put your fucking hand out your mouth. Like, it's not difficult. Not fucking difficult. You talk for a living, probably.
that I know. They know that they have mental illness.
Not a source.
So now I'm going to move on from that.
No, we're not.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
we're not. We're not going to. No,
I'm
yes,
gonna
it
move
does.
on from that.
No, we're not.
And
We're
I'm
not
gonna
going to
let
move
you
on.
know
No, we're not. We're not going to
that-
move on from your claim. You're not going to move on from your claim. So let's just confirm here. My source is the American
What I'm gonna let
Psychological
you know
Association, the
is
writers of
that
the
they
DSM-5.
have told me
I don't
in
care.
detail
I don't
the
care.
issues
I don't
that they
care.
have
I don't care.
with
I don't
being
care.
transgender.
I don't care.
So
I
when
don't
you're
care.
born with a
I
penis,
don't care about your anecdotes.
and then you
Don't care about
This is your boy, is it? This is good faith, is it? This is good faith. Saying I don't care, like over and over, despite the fact that you didn't have to provide any fucking sources for something that you were just objectively wrong about.
feel like you shouldn't have that penis.
I don't care about your anecdotes.
Mental illness.
I do not.
There's many people who want to be blind,
listen.
or
I need you to
who
stop
maybe
talking.
don't
Stop
want
talking.
a limb,
Stop
and
talking.
they want to remove
Stop
that
talking.
limb.
Stop talking. Stop talking. I don't care
Are you
about your
saying something?
anecdotes. I don't care about your anecdotes.
Oh my god, she's quite good actually. She hasn't really. She's not been amazing in the debate itself, but she's quite good at dealing with his bullshit. I gotta say, he's avoiding having an actual conversation. Yes, exactly. He jumps on the little things that he can. Again, let me make this as clear as possible for all the retards that are going to watch this later. He gets hung up on irrelevancies. She said, I know it's not a mental, whatever the fuck it was. And that was enough for him. She was going to start saying some other stuff. There are other sources, etc., which is true. And maybe she'd have been able to provide one that says otherwise. I don't know. I mean, I've looked it up, and like you can definitely call it a mental illness. I can't even fucking remember what they're talking about because this is so stupid. But like, yeah, he cares about the thing that he can jump on and get the dunks in on.
I don't give a shit about your anecdotes. Your anecdotes mean nothing in terms of a debate.
What the fuck do you do? How do people think this guy's good at debating? I have no fucking idea. People will get fucking brainwashed to fuck about anything.
You know,
Okay,
trans
sure.
people fucking whoop-de-doo.
Sure.
Provide a source
Yeah, okay,
that
Jovan.
being
Yeah.
trans is a mental illness. That's
Very easy to find a source that you can say, based on these criteria, it's a mental illness. What about if another country calls it a mental illness? This guy's like America brain, that's fine. But like, what's it described as in other countries? What if some countries in Europe do call it a mental illness?
It's not a fucking anecdote. Something. Do you have a medical paper on this? Do you have like multiple
Do you have a medical paper on whether trans is a mental illness or not? It's a pretty subjective point and an extremely irrelevant one to anything. Why would you get hung up on this? I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. This could be where like this shit like completely wrecks because it's like can't provide evidence of like some non-point that is a waste of time. It's entertainment for his viewers, I guess. Well, in that case, what he's doing is using trans issues, something he has no stake in, and using it for entertainment. And that's disgusting to me. That is a grift that is, quite frankly, anti-trans.
doctors confirming this? Do you have a maybe, I don't know, maybe like some book that goes over like diagnostics of like disorders, maybe some book that talks about
Where the fuck was his book when saying that, what was it, trans isn't linked to other mental illnesses when it literally is? Disorders, whatever the fuck. Like, where was his book? Where was his source? He didn't have to provide one. What's with the double standard? Aren't like debates supposed to be like, you know, you're on level ground and you can just converse? But this isn't a debate, so I don't know.
this and how medical person, do you have any of that? No, you don't.
I do, but would you
provide it.
accept?
I promise you will claim to be very anti-America. Oh yeah, definitely, I can tell. Until you use other countries to argue against points, that'll be one of the most patriotic people you've seen. Yeah, probably.
It probably not.
Provide it. Provide it.
Hey, make sure you like the stream, by the way. If you check the description, if you take the links in my description, you can support the stream on Streamlabs. You can check out some music that I've made. You can listen to it. You can buy it wherever you want. And you can check out my Discord.
How?
Tell me the name of the study or the source or the book.
And then what?
And then I'll look it over.
You're gonna tear it apart and tell me why it's not?
I don't know for a fact that he won't just find some way of discrediting it and then move on, despite the fact that the one actual point he's made so far was literally wrong, and I've shown that. But the pattern suggests that, because this comes across very performative. And I'm really interested into what reason he even cares about trans issues for. Like, why are you personally invested in gender-affirming care for minors? Why? What's the motive for that? Because I could come up with plenty of reasons in my head, but not all of them are very, very flattering. And I can't prove any of them, but it makes me wonder, like, I don't know. Keep in mind, main thing here is perception of moral superiority, not debate for the sake of mental exercise. Yeah, well, I'm just here to show that he is wrong, and there we go.
Not valid.
If it's not valid, I'm going to look to see if it's a valid source. What?
This isn't
what does he consider a valid source?
How debates work?
Debate.
You won't provide evidence, and it's not an actual debate. Because you won't provide evidence.
It's not a fucking debate anyway, mate.
It's not an actual debate.
You keep trying to get everybody with this, okay? I don't need it to have...
With evidence? Yes, that was me yelling, by the way. Yes, I keep trying to get people with evidence, because if you're going to make a claim, you have to have evidence to...
Didn't evidence your own claim, though, did you? Huh?
Back up your claim. Otherwise, your claim is bullshit. And I have a feeling you
have... A bit like yours earlier.
You don't. Evidence. That's why trans people exist.
You do have to back up your claim with evidence. Yes, you do.
So, okay.
Yes, you do.
Explain this to me then.
Yeah, you do, actually.
So if someone says, I feel like I'm in the wrong body.
He's so triggered. Oh my God. Fucking like muttering under his breath about the other person who's been like perfectly kind and polite and is doing her best to like continue this conversation, despite the fact that it was abundantly clear it was a waste of time, like a minute and a half in, maybe.
You do, actually.
So if someone says...
You.
So, okay.
Yes, you do.
Explain this to me then.
Yeah, you do, actually.
So if
what is she
evidence...
Yes, you have no
don't.
Evidence.
That's why trans people exist.
You do have to back up your claim with evidence. Yes, you do.
So, okay.
Yes, you do.
Explain this to me then.
Yeah.
I mean, a point like what he's like arguing with her right now, whether there's evidence for it or not, it's such an irrelevant point to any conversation. Is trans a mental illness? Like, first off, who cares? Second off, yes, to plenty of metrics you can choose from, yes, it's a fucking mental illness. Our argument isn't great. You do need evidence. In general, yeah, but this is such a non-point. Like, and the other thing is, he didn't provide evidence for an assertion he made earlier. I'll come back to it, don't worry. I need to make sure that any actual points that he made that aren't just irrelevant bullshit, that serve no purpose to any kind of conversation, and are just him wanking his own dick. This woman needs her own stream. She wound his gears pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, he's made one claim, really. And he was wrong about it, and he didn't provide any evidence. So there's a double standard.
Yeah, you do, actually.
So if someone says, I feel like I'm in the wrong body, and they go to the doctor, right? Because they want to address it. Then the doctor says, oh, you feel that way? I need proof. Then what? How do you...
Yikes, you don't know anything, lol. Who are you talking to? Also, hi, boy, I hope you're good.
You prove it.
How do you prove an internal quality?
You can't. So the question becomes, how much do you trust the person that's talking to you? Quite difficult to determine, usually. Really obsessed and pedantic semantic. Yeah.
Yep. That's what you're asking me to do right now.
No, I'm not.
How do you prove it?
I'm not asking you to prove an internal quality. That would be...
Can you just answer the question?
Dumb as fuck.
How do you prove it?
How do you prove an internal quality?
Yes.
You just answer the question. You can't. Okay, what don't I know anything about? Can I have an example of what I don't know anything about?
By talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, talking about it doesn't prove it. That's the problem, because people lie sometimes. Amazing. The truth is you can't, and that's a perfectly fine answer to give. Why didn't you just say you can't?
Internal quality.
Talking about it. An internal quality. Okay.
You're dumb as fuck, bro. Jesus
but
fucking
yet,
Christ.
why are you insulting me?
Because
what
you're
is that?
dumb. Because you're really dumb.
That's actually...
Because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I mean, if you think, I said being trans is a mental illness, lol, that's number one. Did I say it was a mental illness? I said that it doesn't really matter whether it's characterized as a mental illness. I said that according to some metrics, yes, you can absolutely say that it's a mental illness. For example, we look at this one from the Mayo Clinic. Mental illness refers to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. Something that gender dysphoria can do. Do you understand something? I have gender dysphoria. I am trans. I have been trans since 2015. So please tell me how I don't understand my own experience. That'd be amazing.
That's the sign of a very unintelligent person.
I don't give a...
True. Oh my God. This person is like, listen, like I said, this like actual debate, if we get into the specifics of like who's right and who's wrong or whatever the fuck, she's not doing much better than he is. But in terms of like dealing with this man's like childish fucking attitude and behavior, she's like fucking destroying him.
Well, fuck what you
when
think
I
it's the
make
sign.
How can it not be a mental illness? Well, the thing is, people find it insulting to be called mentally ill. And we're in a society these days in the West where we care way too much about protecting people's feelings. So we have to find a way of not calling it a mental illness. Me personally, I don't fucking care if it's a mental illness or not. I don't think it matters. There are trans people without dysphoria. That's like trans issues 101. You're lost, LMAO. Okay, so why are those people trans? The energy does not match. He does not energy match. That's bullshit. So why is someone trans if they don't have gender dysphoria? What's the reason they are trans for?
Kind of.
When I make an
I don't
argument
give a
you don't
shit.
like, you insult me.
No, I have tackled
You're
every
very-
single. I have tackled you. First of all, you haven't made an argument. You've made claims. You haven't made a single argument.
You tried to make at least one argument that you cut her off for because you found a little bit of something you could jump in on.
You haven't backed up those
So
claims
then
with
why are
quite
you
literally
even mad?
anything.
Why are you mad then?
Because you won't
There's
back
no
up your
room for
claims.
emotion
Because you
here.
will not back up your
You're being-
claims.
Won't back up a claim of like whether it's a mental illness. I repeat for the millionth fucking time. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit?
Because you will
You're
not
being
back up
very
your claims.
emotional.
It's because I don't give a fuck. It's you will not back up your claims.
I don't give a fuck. You do. You do. Obviously. His viewers have authority bias. Yeah. And that's why it's a really easy fucking grift. It's a really easy fucking grift to just read a bunch of info from like the DSM and the APA and just treat it as gospel. And just every time anyone questions it, well, that's what the APA says. That's what the WPATH says. That's what the DSM says. I don't have to agree with anything that your shitty American fucking psychology association says about anything. I'm not from your fucking country. I'm glad I'm not. It looks shit over there, quite frankly.
I know you don't.
You asking that question is proving my point that you know nothing about this lol. Trans is just having a gender identity that doesn't match your sex assigned at birth. How do you not know this? What's a gender identity? What is a gender identity? You can be trans without having dysphoria. No, you don't understand. Why do people transition? What's a gender identity? Your description includes the term gender identity. What's the definition of that term? If you can't define that term, your definition is bullshit.
But you're not
maybe
good
back
at
up your
debating
claims.
at all. You're not debating.
You haven't backed
You're-
up a
you're
claim.
Forcing
backed up a
people to
claim.
have pronouns
I don't
and
give a
then
fuck.
treating them horrible when they
You
don't
use
have
pronouns
any.
too, so shut the fuck
I'm
up.
allowed.
I don't care.
I am allowed to not have pronouns, okay? And you don't get
Oh my
to
god, he's literally just sulking now. There's no like recovering. Literally, there's one argument he's made and it was wrong. Amazing. This is your ally? This is the guy that you think is like sticking up for trans people? This guy's fucking grifting off trans people. Trans issues are just a moneymaker for him.
I
tell
is
me
a
if I do or
pronoun,
don't.
dumb fuck. I is a pronoun, stupid.
Okay, stupid.
So you do have pronouns.
That's what you
like
say.
I.
Pronoun
That's crazy.
isn't meant to
So you
identify.
Wait, boy, where have you gone? You haven't explained to me what gender identity is. If you can't explain what a gender identity is, then the definition that you've given is bunk. Because a definition needs to explain what something is, not give you further questions. I recently had a conversation with a family member that isn't even comfortable with gay people. managed to turn them around with the mental illness explanation. Subjectively the best messaging. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm fine with people that will only define trans as being if you have dysphoria. And at least it points to there being something that you're fixing. And that's the whole point of medicalizing it to where you get it on insurance or get it on the NHS. The way people want to change it, where it's just anything you call yourself, it's just a choice. Therefore, all the surgery and shit, it's elective, it's body modification. Like, if that's what you want, if you want everything to be way more expensive, then go ahead. You know he's evil because the bisexual lighting turned red. Gender identity equals mental state that affirms your experience of gender. What does that mean? Your mental state that affirms your experience of gender. What is that? How is it not just something you come up with? How is it not just a choice at that point? Do you think being trans is just a choice? Your definition doesn't make any sense. And you come in with the smarmy, how do you not know anything about this? I'm fucking trans. What the fuck do you know about this? You're just fucking giving the boilerplate shit that everyone else gives. But it's meaningless. The mental state that affirms your experience of gender. What the fuck does that mean? Like, how do you measure that scientifically, for example? Retarded.
You have pronouns, and they would be I.
A pronoun is
Pronouns are not meant to
people.
identify people. Is that the thing
not.
you just said? So what's the use what's a pronoun for? What's the use of pronouns in
Isn't it just to refer to someone?
In the English language?
Wait, boy, do you have people blocked in my chat? That's extremely insecure. I mean, I knew you were insecure because of all the, how do you not know anything about this? But like, I don't know. Consider maybe that the gender identity theory is just a theory and that it's been pushed onto us via some concerted effort. Like, think about fucking WPATH. And the APA is completely captured. So don't fucking trust a thing they say if you're smart.
Used in sentences as conjunction, right?
To do what?
Them, that.
Yeah, apparently he's got loads of people blocked. I love this blue guy. Yeah. She's kind of wrecking him. Like, in terms of like an actual debate, it's ridiculous. But like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, the thing about experts in the field is, I don't trust those experts. You not understanding that what that is doesn't mean it's unintelligible, Lamau. Well, why can't you explain it in any fucking recognizable terms? Why is it that, like, what is someone's experience? I just want any answers instead of, like, fucking grandstanding. What is your experience of gender? What does that even mean? Your experience of gender?
That is indicating that a group of people.
If I point to somebody, across the field,
I am doing something.
If I point to someone across the field,
if you're going to ask me a question,
because you already said something incorrect.
You're going to ask me a question, at least let me finish it, please.
You already said something incorrect. Because you already said something incorrect.
If you're going to, it does.
He's said, like, he's made one point and it sucked, but okay. Okay, he's unblocking people. Amazing. I can't wait for another amazing bullshit comment like, you don't know anything, instead of actually explaining that shit. Because the truth is, the gender identity model doesn't work. We insist that cis people identify as their birth sex. What does that mean? What does it mean to identify as something? How is it not that they just are what they are, and that their sex is what they are, and gender is just the social and cultural aspects of that, including how people see you? No, answer my question, boy. What's experience of gender? What does that mean?
Doesn't matter if I'm incorrect. A debate
yes, it does.
is me speaking, even though.
Oh yeah, I can tell. Hence answering a question with a question. It doesn't work. Okay, well, I don't trust these experts. Do you know anything about WPATH? Do you know anything about any of this stuff? Like, I don't know.
know I'm incorrect. And then when I finish,
I'm not gonna let
I tell you what, Toaster Cleaner, do me a favor. Read the fucking WPATH files. You don't need to read the editorial shit, just the actual leaks themselves. And then tell me how much you trust those particular experts. It really fucking annoys me. I actually fucking read this kind of shit. Don't explain to me, answer my fucking question, or I'll block you. Just look at some of the shit that I've looked at and tell me again that these particular... Okay, I'm going to block you as well, Toaster Cleaner. You're actually doing my head in. Fucking actually read some of the shit that I've read. Maybe watch any of my videos from like more than a fucking week ago.
No, I'm not going to let you keep talking.
I do not trust the so-called experts in WPATH. There was a WPATH doctor / surgeon. What? Do you not know what WPATH is? Are you fucking for real? Are you fucking for real? Are you like taking the piss? You don't know what WPATH is? And you're lecturing me about how I should trust experts. I'm talking about those specific experts. In the WPATH files, first off, Marcy Bowers, several other surgeons, admit that they've performed vaginoplasties, plural, on children. Another person, no, boy, just fucking answer the question. Are you stupid? The WPATH files, yeah, there was another surgeon that talked about how they would treat literally anyone that comes into the door. I'll tell you what their line was. Their line as to who they would not treat was a person that was literally hallucinating in their consultancy room. They will treat everyone else, no matter what fucked up shit they've got wrong with them. Why would they transition those children? And yet they do. And the WPATH files show that. So answer me why the fuck I would trust those experts.
The debate is,
if you're saying incorrect stuff.
You don't seem like you know what a debate is.
No, I'm not going to let you keep talking if you say something incorrect. Sorry. I'm going to tell you to stop.
That's not what a debate is.
You don't know what a debate is because a debate is a thing where two people argue 2 points with sources and data to back these up, not because I think so. You haven't provided.
You're trying to teach. You have nothing to teach me. What is your experience of gender? What does that mean?
Sources or no, I don't give a fuck if a debate is respectful.
You argue.
Tell you what, boy, if you want me to answer literally any of your stupid, retarded fucking questions, I have a Discord linked. Join it. We can talk in voice. And I'll answer your stupid questions. Until then, answer the fucking question that I asked over and over again. Just like your little dipshit friend here. That's all he does.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We're fighting today. I don't give a fuck.
Anything. You can argue an opinion. You can argue evidence.
No, you can't argue.
Listen, people love to assume I know fucking nothing whatsoever. I don't give a shit. I'm wasting my time. Like, fucking hell. In what sense? In what sense? I can go all day. Let's go.
You can argue whatever you want. You debate whatever you want.
Do you think I debate fifis? Do you think I debate fifis?
The way you're supposed to debate is to let one person speak, and then when they're done, then you speak with your opposing view. That's how that's supposed to go.
I just want to know if you think I come on here to debate someone's fifis. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I don't give a fuck about your fifis. I want actual data and evidence to back up the shit you say.
I can't hear you very well.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. I don't debate fifis. I don't do it. So either provide evidence for the shit you say or shut the fuck up. Those are your two options.
How about you debate correctly or shut the fuck up?
How about you provide evidence for the shit you say or shut the fuck up? Those are your
Yeah, like he didn't. Again.
Two options.
How about you let me finish my sentences or you shut the fuck up?
The only thing I want to hear right now.
12-year-old little boy
thing I want to hear right now.
Yes, fucking get him.
Fucking basement.
The only thing I want to hear.
Your mom gives you every fucking.
Oh, hi Sylvia. I don't know what's going on today. We're going insane for some reason.
Thing you want, and you're just spoiled. You're just a fucking.
The
you're just
only
in your
thing.
Mom's basement.
Sure. The only thing I want to hear right now is evidence for your claim. That's all I want to hear. If you can,
all of these people are Vorsh clones. You've got Vorsh taking basically every awful quality of Destiny with none of his good ones, and then you've got all these fucking morons, all these people just copying him like fucking rote, because he got a lot of growth. He moved quite quickly. You know what I mean? I'm trying to answer you, but you need to know all the words in the What is your experience of gender? What does that mean? How can you show that? I know what a mental state is. I don't give a fuck about someone's mental state. I'm asking you what your experience of gender is. I'm asking you to define your shit. That's all I'm doing. If you can't do that, then fine. Fuck off.
Not provide evidence for your claim. I'm going to put you on hold until you can. Can you provide?
Mate, I'm not dodging you. I don't give a fuck about mental state. A mental state is literally whatever your fucking brain is at the moment. I don't give a fuck. Answer my question.
Evidence for your claim?
How are you going to say I'm dodging you, by the way? I've asked you the same question, like, repeatedly. I don't care. I've got a fucking day. I've got a fucking day.
You're going to put me in timeout? You think it... What?
Yes, because clearly you need it.
I don't care about that, Jovan.
Okay.
This is what...
She's on hold. We'll do like a 30-second hold. Aw.
I muted her. What a fucking limp dick.
Put me in timeout? You think it... What?
Yes, because clearly you need it.
I don't care about that, Jovan.
Okay.
This is what...
She's on hold. We'll do like a 30-second hold. Aw. Hung up. Provide evidence for your fucking claims, guys.
Like he didn't.
Seriously. To fucking provide evidence. I don't give a fuck about your anecdotes. I want to hear actual evidence about the shit you say.
So what's your evidence for saying that there's no linked mental illnesses with, what is it, gender dysphoria, being trans? Not true. Anyone can find out in 2 seconds what the comorbidities of this are.
Not, well, I know because I know. Dumb fuck.
Yeah, obviously, Toaster Cleaner. Obviously. Do me a favor, have a bit of faith in me that I wasn't born yesterday and that I actually know anything about anything. That would really help me out, honestly. Look at all these, by the way, fucking losers. Sad. Oh yeah, I'm the best pick-me there ever was. I'm owning it now. It's part of my brand. I'm a pick-me. Fuck yeah. I'm a man and I'm a pick-me.
This is per the APA. If you want to, I don't.
So, show evidence. You have to show evidence for your claims. In general, I agree with that. But what about this?
Care about people having a new vocabulary, right? If people can't like get with the program, that's on them, right? When it comes to being trans, when it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness. This is
in terms of transgender, non-congruence, gender incongruence, I don't like the term, but I will accept it. That's fine. But the only point to make is that it's not linked to any other mental illness.
When it comes to being transgender, non-congruence has no linking to any mental illness. This
no linking to any mental illness. So if I were to say depression is a common comorbid of gender dysphoria or gender incongruence, if you prefer, you'd say that was wrong, would you? But like all of the fucking... First off, I know it's true. And I know that things like autism and stuff, like developmental disorders, also are comorbids. Like, it's just like... This is the only real point that he made, because the rest of the time they were arguing about little nothings that who even fucking cares who's right on these, honestly? Because it's meaningless. But like... That's the one point he made. When he actually makes any assertions, he can't do it. And he doesn't provide evidence for this.
Per the APA, if you want to compare shit to psychology, then I would compare it to actual...
Per the APA? I mean, Jesus, should I look this up too? I might as well. Yeah, $5 chat read, yeah. They're all like rampant capitalists. They're always like super like individualistic as well, which is bizarre. AFAB, AMAB is bullshit. Like, yeah, I agree. It's got female and male in there. Just say female and male. Easy. That we know people with gender dysphoria commit suicide. Yeah, of course, yeah. Transgender is an umbrella term, already insane. Why is it an umbrella term? Tumblr, I think. But let's have a look. Let's have a look at what came out this year. Transsexual is largely outdated, blah, blah, blah. According to the APA, so according to ourselves, that's a great start, isn't it? According to ourselves. Don't you know depression, everything else is caused by being oppressed and marginalized? Oh yeah, of course, fuck. What was I thinking? I forgot. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm oppressed because I'm able to live under a roof and afford food every day and do this. But I must actually be, you know? I get depressed occasionally. Shit, it's because I'm so beaten down on Turf Island. Oh no. Oh, I think I hear you now. Hang on.
There we go.
Okay, yeah. Hey, educate me.
All right. So just being trans is just going to be some sort of difference between your sex assigned at birth and your gender identity. And your gender identity is going to be just some mental state that affirms you being affirming of some certain set of traits that are typical of either female or male. It's basically just saying if you're a man or a woman. So it's basically when, for example, you have a male that's a woman. That would
How
be
can
an
you have
example.
a male that's a woman, though?
Well, because woman doesn't mean it's not like a biological term, so there's no logical contradiction within it. So you can have a male, for example, that has a desire to be in accordance with traits that are typically associated with the female sex, and that's how you can have a male that's a woman.
But that doesn't make you a woman just taking on certain traits, like changing your look or something.
Well, this is where we have to, I guess, get into what is a woman, right? Or
well, to me, it's an adult human female.
Everybody. Sorry.
To me, it's an adult human female.
Right. So it seems like we're using different definitions of the word woman here. So like when I say the word woman and when, many trans people say the word woman, they're not talking about sex. So.
Well, sure, but gender is derived from sex.
That's true. They correlate.
How can they not be talking about sex?
Well, they're not saying that they are, like when a trans woman says they're a woman, they're not saying I'm an adult human female. That's what I mean to say.
What are they saying?
Well, I gave the definition already. They're saying that one of the definitions that you can use is just desiring to be in accordance with some traits that are typically associated with the female sex.
That doesn't make you a woman at all.
Well, you're just saying you have when you say that doesn't make you a woman, you're just saying you have a different definition of woman.
Well, I guess technically, yeah, I could decide that the definition of woman is something completely different to what anyone thinks it is,
Well, so when you say different than what anyone thinks, my point is that not everyone uses the adult human female definition, and when trans people are saying they're a woman, they don't mean to say that they're an adult human female. And you can ask them that, they'll say, "Yeah, I'm not a female."
Yeah, but what do they mean then?
But I am a woman. Sorry?
But what do they mean then?
Okay, so this will be the third time that I'm giving you the definition of what they mean.
I'm glad you can count.
So,
I just need it.
Yeah, okay. So it'll be someone who desires to be in accordance with traits typically associated with the female sex.
But that doesn't change your sex or your gender. That's just
changing your
look.
I'm not saying it does.
Why should anyone respect this then?
I'm giving you a definition of woman that they're using. Try and keep up here.
Doesn't work.
Why doesn't it work? Because it's a different definition from how you use the term?
Because really you're just saying that someone can call themselves a woman and they're a woman then?
No, they have to have a certain mental state. So not anyone has that mental state, right?
But that's not gender dysphoria. That's something else you're saying.
I'm not saying that it's gender dysphoria. In fact, I don't think being trans means that you have gender dysphoria, because there are many trans people who don't have gender dysphoria.
So what's the unifying factor for all trans women? What is it?
This desire, it's the definition. It's the desire to be in accordance with traits typically associated with the female sex. That's the fourth time I've given you the definition now.
Yeah, I'm really glad you can count. What I'm trying to say is...
Well, you gotta start getting it, right? And stop asking me the same question.
Well, no, the
Now-
problem is I disagree with you.
Now, when are we going to proceed with it? What's next?
What's next? Well, I disagree
Yeah,
with
what-
you. Like, anyone
You're-
can just say that they have this mental state and then they're a woman now, surely.
Well, they no, it's not if they say it. They actually have to have the mental state.
But you can't
Right.
tell who does and who doesn't.
So do you know are you familiar with the difference between like metaphysics and like epistemology by chance? I'm not trying to get you like a gotcha or anything.
Not really, but like, I mean,
Okay, that's okay.
we're talking about biology, so I don't really know, you know.
That's okay. So like there's like a difference between like what something is and like how we know like it's that, right? So like, you know, you can define something a certain way. That would be like the metaphysics of it. And then there's like how we know that it's that, right? So when we have somebody who just says that they have this mental state, well, that can give you evidence that they have that mental state, but it's
Not
not
necessarily.
certain whether they actually have the mental state or not. So the point is that, right? So when you said that somebody can just say they have the mental state and that makes them a woman, that's actually not true. They actually have to have it, not
But
just
no one
say
can
it.
tell they have it. So they can just call themselves a woman
Well-
and they'll be accepted
Well,
as
no.
one, surely.
Well, no. We can. What we can do, just like in all sciences, we can have some certain, evidences towards someone having a certain mental state. Like, for example, if I have a mental state of being hungry, some evidence that I have that mental state would be like me opening the fridge, right?
Well, I mean, that could suggest lots of things, but I mean, that doesn't...
Well,
if I saw you opening a
right,
fridge,
but-
I don't know that
but
you're
if you-
hungry.
If you see somebody opening the fridge, you might think that they're hungry, right?
Potentially. That doesn't mean they are.
Okay. No, right, but it's evidence towards the fact that they're hungry, right? Because you're not. If
Well,
you're
not
hungry, you're not going to go to the. If you're hungry, you're not going to go to the trash,
I could
right?
be hungry and not open the fridge or do anything about it because I don't have any food. But if
Yeah,
someone doesn't
I
know I have
understand
no
that,
food, how will they tell?
You wouldn't expect somebody who's hungry to walk to the trash. Is the point, right? You would
Well, I
expect
don't know.
them to walk. You don't have any expectations for how somebody would act if they were hungry.
Well, no, not really. It's not something I think about very often.
No, I mean that's just being dishonest, right? Like
I'm not being
what would you
dishonest.
expect? Well, that is being dishonest.
Okay, I don't care. What's the point? Where are we getting to with the hunger?
Right.
allegory?
The point is that you can have evidence of people's mental states given certain behaviors that they might have, or certain ways that they act,
Which can
things
easily
like
be
that.
imitated.
Just like if somebody's hungry, you can have evidence that they have a mental state of being hungry.
I get that part.
If they do think, no, apparently you didn't get it earlier, but that's okay.
No, I don't give a shit. People can just imitate those things. Some man could grow his hair out, put makeup on, start wearing women's clothes, and say he's a woman when he isn't a woman in any meaningful way.
Well,
How do you
so the
control
point
for that?
so somebody could do that. I'm just saying is that
So it's not reliable.
Your original claim was that you can't know whether somebody is a woman or not. No.
You can't know if someone has that mental state, which you're saying is what makes you trans.
Wait, but you could know if you had enough evidence, right?
No,
Well, why do you think that?
because someone could just do all the things
Yeah.
that makes them seem like a woman, and then they'll get called a woman. They're still not a woman. They're just copying some traits.
So this is like the first thing is that you seem to not understand how science
I don't care what I
works.
don't seem to understand. Just explain to me if I'm wrong what the problem is.
I'm trying to explain it to you, but I
Then do it.
have to just point out that you don't know what you're
No, you
talking
don't.
about.
Just do it.
Right? Yeah.
You're grandstanding. I don't give a shit. Carry on.
It's just silly, right?
You're
saying
grandstanding
that,
still.
yes, somebody could. Yes, I'm going to grandstand this because
Well, I
it's
don't
just
want you to
silly that you
grandstand. I'll
don't
just
know
talk
this.
over you until you stop.
It's just silly that you don't know this. So
It's silly
the
that you
point
think
is-
that people can just
so
call
the
themselves a
point
woman
is-
and they're a woman.
The point is,
What womanhood do males take on?
the point is that you can have evidence of a certain mental state, right? Do we
make
agree
it
with that?
true.
Yes or no?
It doesn't make it true.
Listen, the point is that I'm not saying it having evidence makes it true or not. It's that whether we have knowledge of the thing or not. Do you know what knowledge is?
No, I have no idea what knowledge is. Please explain what knowledge is to me.
It's yes. It's a justified true belief, right? So
And
justification
thinking a man is a woman
be,
is not a justified true belief.
Justification
You're a
is
woman.
just going to be any observation that raises the credence in the proposition being true.
Am I a woman?
I don't know. Do you desire to be in accordance with traits typically associated with the female sex?
I guess, yeah. I feminize myself pretty compulsively.
Okay, there you go. Well, there you go.
But I'm not a woman. I was born male. I'm a male. I don't think womanhood is something a male can take on.
Well, you use the definition adult human female. I'm not operating on that definition.
Okay, well, you're wrong then.
How can I be wrong for just using a different definition though?
Because you can't just make up a definition and that's what it is.
That's like literally how all definitions are made. Did you not know that? Do you think definitions come from the sky or something?
What?
Do you think definitions just come from the sky or something?
Well, no, but I think that the definition you're going off is wrong.
They're made by people.
Amazing. What you're saying.
Yeah, so what you just said is just demonstrably false.
What you're saying, your model means that anyone can just become a woman by taking on certain characteristics, because that's evidence. Apparently, it's not evidence you're a woman.
They have you're mixing up the metaphysics and epistemology again.
No, I just don't care about any of that because to me it's biological.
They are that if they have the mental state, right?
But they're not. What's the mental state? How do you How does that make you a woman having a certain mental state?
I just want to point out that you just not understanding what I'm saying doesn't make you like.
How does the mental state make you a woman if you're a male?
That's
because
just,
you want to be a woman because you want to feminize.
That's the definition of woman, right?
You know who Brian Molko is?
It's someone who desires to be in accordance with traits typically associated with the female sex.
But you can do that and still be male and still be a man. So it's just what you call yourself. Your definition doesn't work. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're not. You're still not understanding. Yes, you can have a desire and be male. That's the point. Yes, you can be male and be a woman. Thank you.
No, you can't. That's what I'm saying. A woman is a woman, a female.
You actually can, given the definition that I put forth. You can.
Yes, but I think your definition is wrong. Because you can just decide to be a woman.
Wait, again, how can definitions be wrong? I don't understand.
Well, that's a ridiculous argument. What you're trying to say then is that anyone can decide a woman means a car. And that's what they think. Can you
help me understand how there can be such thing as a wrong definition?
Yes, a woman is an adult human female. Some people have decided that it means other stuff because they want to cater to certain people's feelings. But those feelings are irrational.
I'm just asking you, how can a definition be wrong? I'm just asking that. Can you answer that question?
I just did.
No, you didn't.
Well, your definition of woman is, if you boil it down far enough, anyone who calls themselves it. Because...
No, I've explained this, or I've already explained this for you. And I'll do it again really quick. I'll do it again really quick if you want, right? So the definition of woman isn't someone who says they have a mental state, right? It's actually having the mental state, right?
But you can't show it.
Look, now you're asking about the epistemology.
Why does that make you a woman?
Now we're on a different point.
Why does the mental state make you a woman if you're a male? Why does it make you a woman?
So that's the definition, right?
No, why does it make you a male, a female?
Look, that question is incoherent. It's just how we're defining the term.
No, it's how you're defining the term. I'm rejecting that.
Just like I say, look, because I can just mirror that question when you say, why does being an adult human female make you a woman, right?
Because
it's just how you're using. It's just how you're using.
No, shut up.
It's just how you're using.
Shut up a sec.
It's just how you're using. It's just how you're using. It's
how it's been used since like the beginning of time. When you think about, say, a deer, you've got like bucks, you've got does, you've got men, you've got woman. It's the consistent language of evolution.
That's not giving me a why. The why is just that's how you're using the term.
Yeah, that's
right?
how it's always been defined, and it's only recently that people have tried to change it.
Sorry, it has not always been defined like that, right? Like there were, for example, I can just show that to you, right? Like
You're anti.
What does the word female mean?
Well, it means the large gamete producer.
Okay, and then have people always known what gametes are?
No, but it's existed regardless.
Right.
The concept exists regardless what words you use.
So they haven't always known. They haven't always used that definition.
Yes, but it's existed still.
Case in point. Case in point.
Yeah, this is just pedantry with fucking definitions. I don't care about that shit.
You
It's a biological concept.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's a biological concept. You can't metaphysics your way out of biology.
We haven't
you can't just say, I have a mental state, therefore I'm a woman. That doesn't make sense.
We haven't always known those concepts, right? So
that
we
doesn't
haven't
matter.
always used that
They've
definition.
existed regardless. We evolved through those.
That doesn't.
How do you think you were made?
Look. We can't use a term unless we know what the words mean in the term, right? So we can't be. Nobody could have known.
I don't know what a mental state is that makes you a woman because no such thing exists.
Nobody could have known what that biological concept was.
I don't care about that.
Say thousands of years ago, so they couldn't have used that term.
What does that matter?
Because you said we've always used that definition of woman.
Yeah,
we haven't.
As far as I know. If you want to get pedantic and say technically there was a time when that word wasn't used, you want to get pedantic and say that technically there's a time where that wasn't used, you can do, but the mechanism of evolution, the mechanism of evolution has existed for millennia regardless. It's just the word we put on it. Woman is just an adult human female. I'm sorry about it. No mental state makes a male a woman. A male cannot become a woman. How does a male become a woman?
Thank you for telling me that we haven't always used that definition.
Yeah, well done. You got an amazing dunk on me. Explain. Answer my question.
I did. Thank you.
Answer my question.
Now, what was your question?
Fuck's sake. Listen.
What was your question?
How can a male become a woman just because of a mental state when a woman is usually a female?
It's just how we're using the term. So just a woman just means
so
someone
you can
who
just use it in a way that means that you're right. That's pointless. That's just linguistic bullshit.
No.
It's a biological concept.
No, I don't take woman to just be an inherently biological concept. I don't.
Well, then,
agree with that.
I don't know what to say to you. Like, that's ridiculous. That means therefore
true. You don't know what to say to me.
No.
You don't really have a counter to any of what
Therefore,
I'm saying.
What you're saying is a woman is usually an adult human female, but also a male that has a certain kind of mental state. How does that make any sense?
Oh, it's not what I said.
Then what did you say?
Like, I just want to see if you've been following what
I don't give a
fuck.
I'm saying. Answer my question.
I just want to see if you've been following anything that I've been saying. What is the definition? What is the definition?
Answer my question. Answer my question. I asked you a question and you're answering with a question. Please answer my question.
What is the definition of woman that I've been saying?
How come a woman is either an adult human female or a male with what you call a certain mental state? How does that work? How does that work?
What is the definition of woman that I've been telling you? What is that?
Are you going to answer my question or not?
What is the definition?
Are you going to answer my question or not?
I just want to see if you're actually listening.
I don't give a fuck. Have you fucking... I don't care. You're on my shit right now.
So you're just not listening, right?
No, I'm trying to understand, but it's like...
You can't track.
What we're saying is the definition of woman is a mental state that makes you a woman or an adult human female.
No, that's not what I said. No.
It's just anyone that calls themselves it, which is the practical endpoint of what you're saying. That's how it goes out in practice.
Look, you're not even listening.
Shit.
You can't even reproduce what I've said to you. You're not listening.
Because I asked you a question, you just started fucking asking me a question.
Look, you need to actually be tracking my definition of woman if you're going to give me any sort of critique on it. For you to critique,
I think what you need to do is stop watching retards on the internet, quite frankly.
You actually have to know what I'm saying. So
I don't care what you're saying.
What's my definition of woman that I've given you?
I don't fucking know. It's incoherent as shit.
No, you don't know. So you can't critique anything I'm saying because you don't even know what I'm saying.
I'm still trying to understand it because it makes no sense. It sounds like to me.
I'll go really.
It sounds like to me.
I can go.
What a woman is either an adult human female or a male that has a certain mental state. Otherwise, what it sounds like you're saying is that it's just anyone that calls it themselves it, because they can just imitate the traits that show the mental state, even if they don't have the mental state, and therefore they're trans. That doesn't make any sense.
This is boring. Let me just give you the definition again, really slow. Let me just give you the definition really slow, since you can't understand. So again, it's just a person who desires. Do we know what that means so far?
They're gonna talk.
Hello,
mate. Just fucking talk.
Do we know what someone who desires means?
Don't ask me stupid questions. Just tell me what your definition is.
It's just that you haven't been tracking.
Tell me what your definition is.
Sorry. It's just every time that I
tell me what your definition is.
Sorry, it's just that every time I'm giving.
Tell me what your definition is.
Sorry, it's just that every time I'm
tell me what your definition is.
Sorry, it's just
sorry. Can you tell me what your definition is?
Sorry, it's just that
I can't be asked anymore. Bye.
Every time I'm
Goodbye, dickhead, loser. Where are you so I can kick you? Amazing. Oh, thankfully written fucking... That was a waste of fucking time. Anyway, that was fun. So, I have a mental state, and that means I'm a woman, I guess. I don't fucking know. Anyway, I'd have to hold fucking Alt anymore. Amazing. Anyway, we've done Jovan Bradley. Terrible video, made 1 point and fucked it up. Who was that awesome shitter in my chat?